hang on. Antes de empezar, va a ser la mayoría del video en inglés. Hay una parte que va a estar en español. Voy a tratar de subtitularlo después, no sé cuándo. But for now, I'm going to speak in English. And I'm sorry if I take too long to talk. I'm not used to express my feelings. I never have. It's a problem I've always had, and it's worse when I talk. So, I wasn't going to use my channel for this. I swore to myself I didn't want to use my channel for something that wasn't art related, but I think it's got to the point where I feel I have to. Not only for the people involved, but also for me and my mental state, like the things I feel that I have to say publicly. If you don't know about the topic or don't care, just close the video. Honestly, like, who cares? But if you do, and I know the people that are gonna watch this that do care, yeah, I guess stick around. I'm going to start by talking about my experience with the guy that you might have heard, Veer. If you had the misfortune to read his name in one of my works, I knew him for over 10 years. I think we met when I was 15. And well, things just started from there. I never was one to have many friends. In fact, I was heavily bullied at school, like, physical, getting beat and all that. I never had the same interests as other people as well, and I'm just introverted, and I didn't like to go out to begin with, so I didn't have exactly experiences with friendship until he came along. Seemed like a nice guy. He liked the same things as I did, and that's how we just started talking. Sadly, I started to normalize behaviors that he had that are completely unacceptable, that for me were normal at the time. Like, he would ask me for nudes every day, and then I'm like, no, that's gross. Like, and haha, alright, just kidding. But then do it again and again and again. He would speak super sexually towards me. I never found the point in it. Even when I was a minor back then, I don't know. I'm asexual myself, so that kind of thing, I don't see the point in them. So things like that I grew up with, and I didn't see the bad in it at the time. Sadly, me not having any other friend to use as reference for what was right or wrong, what was acceptable and what wasn't, I just kind of took his word for it. That is my fault. I was the one who started to depend emotionally on someone that I didn't know. It's just the guy behind the screen. That was my mistake. So on top of normalizing behavior that wasn't good, practically he would pick my friends. His friends were my friends. He basically had control over my circle of people to which I talked to. He forced me to call him my boyfriend, even though he knew I was asexual. Never once did I express any love for him. Nothing. I just said it because he will feel bad if I didn't. Guilt tripping is something he used to do a lot in everything that we did. That's how he got his name in the credits. He never was a co-writer. The story and the work is mine. He did like gave me like one or two ideas that I ended up using, and started like, you know, insinuating that we weren't really friends, or that it was wrong to not put him in. So I just put him in. I just didn't want to deal with, like, you know, that stuff. And well, years passed. I knew him when I wasn't even animating. It was a long time, years and years of being with him and only him, numbed my judgment and my perception of things, that they were warped, basically. I don't know how to express it well in English. My social ineptitude and my own incompetence, when it comes to manage a community, led me to leave him in charge, because I just wanted to draw. The only point of having a community for me was to share my art with people that liked it. And I made the fatal mistake of trusting someone that wasn't a good person, and therefore the people around them. People that were in the Discord for years will probably notice that if it wasn't art related, I wouldn't really talk in the Discord, because I didn't have time, didn't want to either. I just wanted to draw. But sadly, at my back and in secret, he was doing awful things, all the things that he's accused of, you know, being inappropriate falls short to the things that he did, the emotional damage that he caused to people that were also my friends. I'll never forgive him for that. I didn't understand the severity of the situation. Back then, when it was first mentioned to me, I didn't have the full picture. I think it was 2020, and it was like, hey, you know, Veer used to say this and that in the chat. But I was like, yeah, well, he did that to me every day as well. I didn't see anything wrong with it. Things like, you know, an 18 or 19-year-old being in a relationship with someone, like, you know, that kind of gross things. I didn't consider them bad. I didn't know better. I should have. But it was my fault for being, I guess it's, yeah, that's where I'm sorry. It's hard for me to talk. It's my fault for being so independent of someone, just because it was the first friend I had, and that wasn't right. It wasn't until next year, I believe, that one of my friends told me the full story of the things he did. And that's when I was shocked, of course. I didn't think him capable or something like that. People would say, everyone would say, and started to tell me, when this started to come to light, they told me that he would act completely different around me, and a completely different person when he was interacting with my other friend group or other people. So, like, I should have seen the red flags back then, but in 2021, I had a very rough time. We as a family had a very rough time. I know if you've noticed, I haven't drawn much for a while. Last animation was about Gaster, and that's because I was already like, I had already animated most of it. I just decided to post it in the middle of the year. But that year, my grandpa, someone that I consider my dad, because he's the one that taught me a lot of things, an incredible person, and he had terminal cancer. That year was the year that it got worse. when we started to having to run everywhere with him at hospitals. He will always take it, with a smile. He was a very positive person. And I guess I didn't notice myself that I was dealing with a lot more than I thought I was. My mental state started to deteriorate slowly and slowly until it reached a point that it just broke. So in 2022, that was when it was confirmed that there was no turning back. And we had him at our house. We would take care of him, try to make the experience not as bad. I don't know, like you always hear people talking about cancer and how it sucks, and it really sucks, but I don't think you would understand unless you live it. Unless you live it face to face with someone, and seeing that slow process that is so painful and awful to someone that you love so much. I was just devastated. Honestly, 2022 was probably the worst year of my life. Like, crying every day was just part of the routine at that point. I don't know, I hope you never get to feel the kind of anguish and sadness that just makes you fall to the floor and just completely break down. Because that's what I was suffering that year. And it was precisely that year that everything started going down as well in my community. And I couldn't think straight. I just couldn't. That's my fault, I guess. I wish I could have done things better. The second I learned about what he did, like fully, the full picture, I removed him from the community. Because of course, like, that's horrible. The mistake I made was that a week or two, I don't know how many weeks, or if it was a month or less, but he messaged me. I was going through all this with my family. He never once asked me if I was okay, by the way. Something I realized not long ago that should have also been a red flag for me, that I didn't notice. Knowing that I was going through all this, he goes and says that he's thinking on committing suicide. I have a gun loaded under my pillow. If someone ever found out about what I did, I was going to just pull the trigger. Like, I was just shocked. I didn't know how to answer to that. I've never been put in that position, and I felt it was my responsibility to, not make him lose a life, not make someone lose their life. And I made a mistake, a very bad one, and I let him. Sorry. He basically said that if he couldn't be part of my community, there was no point in living. And I couldn't think straight because I was having a very rough time. 90% of my time was to my family, to help them and to help my grandpa. And he puts this weight on me. And I made the mistake. I let him back into a small chat, like 2 chats of the whole server, where he could just like talk of the things he wanted with a bunch of people. And yeah, I messed up. I messed up bad. I shouldn't have done that. In my panic, I made a mistake, and it was awful. Took advantage of how weak I was emotionally at the time. And he did the best that he knows how to do, manipulate. If I could think straight at that time, maybe things would have been different, but they're not. Things happened the way they happened. I'll always feel bad for everything that happened and the way it did. When I finally realized that the image I had of him was false and that he was not what he thought he said, it was too late. I realized too late that I was next to a monster, that our friendship meant nothing, because the day I realized that he, like, that was the breaking point, I guess. And I told him, you have to say something, take responsibility for the awful things you did. You cannot let me take the bullets for you. Like, I don't know, like, I cannot. I just cannot. In my situation, I can't. You know what he did? He left. He deleted all his accounts. He left a wall of text on my DMs the last time that I didn't even want to read because I was disgusted. And he left. And that's when I realized that, yeah, like, a decade of knowing someone and they abandoned you when the things were the worst in my life. That was a shock in itself. I didn't know how to deal with it. That was in October, I think. Because, like, he was acting as if nothing was happening, right? I was, like, taking turns with my mom to stay awake at night, to give my grandpa the medicine he needed to not feel excruciating pain. Half awake, I wasn't sleeping at all, really. Even though the days that I needed sleep, it was hard to fall asleep because of awful things that I don't want to say, that I had to live in my house because of the situation. And you know what he was saying? Let's play League. Why don't you just, not pay attention to those people? And that's when I was like, what do you mean? Like, this, no. It was so stupid of me. I feel really stupid. I wish I could go back in time and never associate with someone like that. But, what's done is done. That was my mistake in October. September was especially bad because everyone started asking me, oh my god, like, everyone is saying you defended a groomer, that you have basically a bunch of people that are bad in your store, why don't you do something? And I just couldn't. I was asked many times, hey, can we talk? I wanna hear you, and I can't. I literally couldn't. I wish I was stronger emotionally to, like, be mature enough and strong enough to deal with those things, but at the time I just couldn't. So September passed. In September, a lot of videos started to come out about me and the things that I had done. Sadly, I didn't watch any of them. I was not in the mental state to watch them. I'm just sad that a lot of it focused on the mistakes I did and very little on him, on the actions that he did. Even people, like, just commenting on it, everything would just fall on me. And I felt awful. September passed, and at the beginnings of November, we started to realize that the situation at home got worse, that the imminent was gonna happen. I was having awful panic attacks. It was just a very rough time. I remember I tried to, like, lash out, like, why are these people annoying me? Like, leave me alone. I just want 5 minutes alone. Said stupid things too. And then mid-November, what had to happen happened. It was kind of a cruel irony because the day that he passed was the first day I had my psychiatrist appointment, the first time. I'd never had a psychiatrist before. The day I left for the psychiatrist was the day that happened. was the day that he passed. And I had like even less time to like focus about what they were saying about me on the internet. I really don't know how to describe the pain of that experience, but it was to the point where I just couldn't do anything. I lost the motivation to do nothing really. If I could stay in my bed and cry all day, that would be great. And then I just fell apart. I started doing therapy. Well, I had been in therapy because I have been with a psychologist. I've had it for years. But I had never had to take medicine for treating my mental state. It was a shocker. I used to consider myself a very positive person. But nope. It's just very traumatic experiences that just changed you. So from then on, I decided that I will leave Crystal in charge of the server. Well, not in charge, I guess, like, I basically gave Crystal all the power they needed to root out all these people that were behaving inappropriately or were disgusting towards minors, and we root them out the second that we learn. Because I started to, I learned about it in the moment, that this person that I had been talking to for years as well did this awful thing, and we just took him out, banned immediately. It was ban after ban after ban. I tried to do my best to support all the decisions Crystal made. It was thanks to them that I could contact some of the victims from Veer's manipulation and emotional abuse, and I am very, very thankful to them for that. I did manage to apologize privately. I wasn't in the mental state to do things publicly, but I still tried my best to do things, privately. I did want to say sorry. I did want to say that I messed up. I did it with many people, and everything just went on. I tried to draw something, but only when I felt like I was allowed to. I think once or twice I did a drawing stream, but it wasn't much. There was never a group of groomers that I was defending. The one mistake I did was with Veer, which I explained already. The other people, we just took them out the second we learned. And people, well, sorry, I'm trying to get my thoughts. My statements that I remember I made back in like 2020, when I was just not aware of the situation, or not aware of how important, how bad the situation was. I made dumb comments in my ignorance and incompetence that I always regret it. I'm not gonna excuse myself of that. That was just my fault, straight up. I've changed since, slowly. I did everything I could to cooperate with Crystal in that sense. Now lately, well, I've been having a hard time this year as well, because everything happened at the same time. I didn't have time to I didn't have the proper time to go through a mourning process. I think that I'm just now feeling the loss that I had, and more things happened recently. Well, I guess the last thing with Crystal, I mean, I have my DMs open. If they wanna ask me something, I'm open to answer. I will try when I feel okay, because I do not feel okay. But I am not taking charge of any community ever again, because I am just not appropriate for that. I don't have the competence to do I don't have the capabilities to manage something like that. I just don't. So I'm not. That's why I've deleted, well, I guess disabled the Discord server that it was per Crystal and other victims' request. Trying to, just delete it. I guess delete the server. Just letting people, transition to other places. If you want to make a community, you can go for it. Now, I make myself responsible for the things committed in the in the community chat, but I feel like I cannot take personal responsibility for the direct actions of these people that did this at my back and in secret. Now I'm gonna switch to Spanish. Sorry for the English speakers, you're also gonna have to wait for me to subtitle this, or I don't know, someone in Spanish. Well, I'm pretty sure English people have also seen the post because they are made in English about Next the Shield and Jackie. They made a post about me, but I'm going to reply to them in Spanish because I feel like it's more personal, because they were people that I met personally, face to face, in real life, coming to my house to eat, play games, sleep, talk, so I'm gonna be more personal in that sense. A Felipe, primero me voy a disculpar por no haberte escuchado antes. Estaba pasando por lo peor que me ha pasado en la vida. No, simplemente no podía pensar bien. Y la peor persona, tomé confianza en la peor persona posible. De eso sí me disculpo. Pero las otras cosas que has puesto, de que yo te pagaba en exposición prácticamente, no sé. Yo me acuerdo claramente en el post de Facebook que hice con la primera animación de mi serie, y tú comentaste: ¿quieres que te haga música para tu serie? Yo no tengo dinero para pagar, pero no importa, igual la hacemos. Era como un trato entre amigos. Los dos nos beneficiamos, creciste tu canal, yo pude disfrutar de tus talentos musicales, pero siempre fue como una situación de amistad que teníamos. No me alcanzaba para pagar las cuentas, y a veces cuando me sobraba te mandaba un poco de dinero, pero nunca me dijiste: oye, estoy como teniendo un año complicado económicamente, quizás te podría cobrar por el siguiente soundtrack. Lo hubiésemos hablado, pudimos haber hecho algo. La única vez que hablamos de que tenías una situación económica complicada, te ofrecí mi ayuda, a la cual no respondiste, y no salió nada de eso, pero estaba mi intención de ayudar. Así que eso no era que teníamos un acuerdo que nunca te pagué. De haberlo podido hacer, lo hubiera hecho. Lo hice un par de veces cuando podía, no siempre. Pero eso de que prácticamente era como que yo estaba abusando de ti en ese sentido, no. Yo creo que no es sincero. La parte en la que yo era manipuladora contigo emocionalmente, no sé de dónde sale. No sé, la verdad es que tú y yo tuvimos una experiencia súper penca por culpa de Vir. Yo por un lado me decía cosas de ti que probablemente no eran ciertas, y a ti también él sabía dónde apretarte los botones, y como era mecha corta, claro, te enojaba. Y fue a raíz como de eso, bueno, de a poco se fue envenenando, yo creo, la relación que teníamos los dos, y nos fuimos distanciando. Una pena en realidad. Incluso cuando me dijiste que ya no iba a trabajar conmigo, te mandé un mensaje de todas maneras agradeciéndote por todo lo que había hecho estos años, y dejamos de hablar. Bueno, hasta que salió este post. Asumo que ustedes dos lo hablaron antes de hacerlo, tú con Yael. Y la verdad es que lo que más me duele es lo de Yael, porque a ella yo siempre la he estimado. A ella siempre le he tenido respeto y admiración por hacer animación. Es muy difícil hacer animación en YouTube. De hecho, vivir de eso, o sea, no sé, no tengo nada excepto respeto por la gente que se dedica a eso. Lo que Jackie comenta del bullying que yo le hacía estoy segura que fue por esos posts. No sé si alguien se acuerda de antes cuando estábamos leyendo like, como insultarnos la una a la otra, pero como en buena. Supongo que eso es más chileno. No sé cómo será en Colombia, pero acá en Chile nos molestamos harto, pero no en mala. Es como, no sé, es como una manera de jugar. Y en su momento lo hicimos las dos, la una a la otra. En ningún momento expresaste que te hacía sentir incómoda. En ningún momento expresaste me hace sentir mal. Lo hubieses dicho en el momento, yo paro todo inmediatamente, yo respeto los límites que pone. Pero no pasó. Pasaron años. Y no sé si fuese 3 años, no sé, quizá un poco más, que viniste a mi casa, a mi pieza, con alguien incluso de testigo, y me dijiste todo esto que tú pusiste en Twitter, de que te habías hecho sentir mal, de que por tu experiencia no tienes mucho autoestima y que fue muy dañino para ti lo que yo había hecho. Yo estaba en shock y traté de ser lo más sensible posible contigo por disculparme, obviamente, por haberte hecho sentir mal. Me hubiese gustado haberlo sabido antes para arreglarlo antes, pero no fue así. Lo arreglamos en ese momento. Me disculpé de la mejor manera que podía. Nos abrazamos y no te quise molestar más. No quería estresarte con nada tampoco. Y sentí que cuando posteaste tu post, que ni siquiera lo pude ver porque me bloqueaste en Twitter y yo me enteré al día siguiente de que habías posteado eso, me dolió. Me dolió porque es como si ese momento nunca hubiese pasado. Si quizás sentiste que mi disculpa no fue genuina, me hubiese gustado haberlo sabido también. Me cuesta expresarme con mis palabras, me cuesta sacar mis emociones. Y escribiendo es peor. No quise decirte nada tampoco cuando me mandaste toda esa paréntesis, o sea, ese párrafo gigante también en los DMs porque no quería estresarte. Los comentarios que yo hice de Felipe antes de que no, es que le lavaron el cerebro, no, era porque yo tenía la falsa idea de que esas palabras en inglés no estaba bien decirlas en cierto contexto, y en realidad estaba yo equivocada, él estaba en lo correcto, pero lamentablemente tenía a esta persona que me manipulaba a mí y estaba rodeada de gente que pensaba como él. Entonces, claro, me tomó un tiempo reconocer que hay palabras en inglés que simplemente no se dicen porque no son horribles, tienen una connotación muy negativa, y empecé a entender y respetar esa cultura que a mí nadie me enseñó, y no tenía alguien para preguntarle tampoco porque esas personas lo ocupaban siempre y nunca le vi. Me tomó tiempo aprender que era malo, pero lo corregí. Nunca fue mi intención separarlo o meterme en su relación. De hecho, yo los presenté. De hecho, me acuerdo todavía cuando Felipe me decía, preséntamela a Yael. Me alegré muchísimo por ustedes dos cuando se juntaron. Sigo feliz por ustedes. Ojalá tengan una hermosa vida. Eres una artista muy talentosa y siempre te voy a tener respeto aunque tú no lo tengas por mí. Y los otros comentarios acerca de tu serie, que he visto unos screenshots, creo que los ocupaste. cuando decía que quizás deberías dejar de hacer underverse y enfocarte en tu proyecto, lo hice porque me acuerdo que tú también en mi pieza hablábamos de que estabas estresada porque el fandom te trataba mal, estabas chata de lidiar con todas esas cosas. Y te dije, ¿sabes qué? Si en realidad te incomoda, si en realidad la estás pasando mal, no lo hagas. Uno, sobre todo con la animación, que depende harto de la pasión que uno le ponga al proyecto, de qué también va a salir, hay que disfrutarlo, porque si no, no va a salir bien. Al menos así lo sentía yo. Entonces, esos comentarios lo hice con ese contexto, de que si quizás en realidad no la estás pasando bien, no lo hagas. Enfócate en tu proyecto original y yo creo que la gente te va a seguir. Nunca me he burlado de tu serie. Las veces que me he burlado ha sido por chiste, porque las dos lo hacíamos. Tú diciendo chistes de Glitchtail y yo diciendo chistes de Underverse hace 6 años, que por ese comportamiento ya me disculpé, porque hace poco expresaste que te había molestado. La única otra vez que yo puedo pensar de que quizás mis palabras se pudieran haber interpretado como yo burlándome sería cuando simplemente estaba comparando unos estilos de animación, pero nunca ha sido con la intención de menospreciarte, nunca, aunque la gente diga lo contrario, aunque quizás no me creas tampoco, yo estoy tratando de ser lo más sincera posible, nunca. No te quiero tampoco molestar más. Si me demoré un poco en borrar los videos que querías era porque no podía ver tu post porque estaba bloqueada, pero en el momento de enterarme lo borré. Voy a respetar tus límites, tus deseos. No te voy a velar más. Sí, está bien, está bien. Yo también estoy lidiando con mis propios problemas y espero que tú puedas resolver los tuyos también. Sí, eso es lo que tenía que decir en español. Ahora voy a cambiar a inglés de nuevo. To finish up this, I guess in a sense I have to thank the people that have been mean to me, that have assumed the worst in me, because the situation was so bad that I was abandoned, threatened by basically the entire community. People that I thought were friends were not. Just jumped the ship the second something bad was going on. I don't blame them, of course. I did mess up bad, but it was thanks to that I learned the real word, the real meaning of the word friend, and that, just I learned it the real hard way. I guess to finish this video, I guess a sort of suggestion, if someone makes you uncomfortable ever, either real life or especially the internet, leave. Even if the cost is to stay alone, just leave, because I just learned that the hard way. It's just not worth it. If you have a community and you think you can handle it, don't give your trust to people that you don't really know, that you haven't seen face to face, because anyone can put a facade on the internet for years and just keep it up that way. I'm not doing this to victimize myself. I just want to say things from my perspective, how they happened from my point of view. Things that have marked my life forever. I think that the bad things came with a lesson that, like I said, I learned the hard way. And I don't want to cause any more trouble for anyone. I'm trying to regain my love for drawing, which I lost. I'm trying to regain the positivity I had, which I lost. And I'm gonna take my time. It's really hard for me to to speak about these things. I'm not really used to be this exposed. At least I managed to to stay together, I guess, the whole way through. So that's a plus. And yeah, I'm not going to allow comments, I think, on the video, because I'm not interested in reading anything that anyone has to say about the things I said in this video. I just wanted to tell things from my perspective. You can agree with them, you can disagree, you can do whatever, honestly. Like, it's your decision. I myself feel like I've learned a lot from this. I'm not gonna make the same mistakes. I've learned that I cannot handle a community, so I'm just gonna try to focus all my time into what I know what to do, which is draw. And it's gonna take some time. Hopefully I can also regain the strength to stream again slowly. And yeah, that's it. I don't really know how to end the video. Thanks for listening. Sorry to those that were hurt. This was a situation where everyone lost, honestly. It was just awful what happened. I don't wish this to anyone. I just wish for everyone that hopefully they can heal with time. And if they can't, that they should look for a professional, because it was thanks to that I am slowly getting better. I'm gonna try to make, I don't know, a video, I guess, for drawing that I can post on my channel, because I haven't done anything on my channel for a while. And yeah, that's it. I guess I'll see you around next time I do something here. Bye.